Hey guys, Alex here, GuitarForce.com. So in today's lesson we're going to take a look at Sweet Leaf by Black Sabbath. A really cool song. It's pretty straightforward, nothing too complicated, really fun to play. So we're going to break down all of the parts in this lesson. The tabs and the backing track are going to be available at GuitarForce.com or on my Patreon page. All of the links are going to be in the description box down below. Also, if YouTube allows it, I will post the playthrough of the entire song onto my other channel. If you're interested, check it out. The link is also going to be in the description box down below. We're going to be a step and a half down on all the strings, so in C sharp tuning. And for the sound, I was using the VST plugin guitar rig as always. I'm going to show you the picture of the preset right now. While you're checking it out, I'm going to play you my low E, which is C sharp technically, so you can tune up and play along with this lesson. Alright, so as always we're going to break up this lesson into parts. We're going to start off with covering the rhythm guitar part, then we'll move on to the solo. So even though we're going to be in step and a half down tuning on all the strings, I'm still going to refer to the positions when we play chords as being in standard tuning. It's just easier to explain it like that. So we're going to start off with the first riff, kind of main riff of the song, which is being played during the intro and also the verses. And it goes like this. Alright, so here we start off with the C power chord. By the way, all of the chords that we're going to be playing are going to be power chords. So C power chord at the 8th position. We play 2 8th notes here. Then we have a little rest. We move up to the 13th position, which is an F chord, and we go down chromatically to the E flat. We stay on this chord, let it ring out, then you hit it twice again. Slide quickly up to the F, and then back down to the C. There's going to be a lot of sliding going on, even on the first chord that we play. Tony, plays sliding into the chord. Maybe not the first time, the very first time when he plays the riff, but after that, he's sliding into this chord. And then from the C, there are a couple of ways how you can play it. Little variations, very subtle, but once you play the chord, you can either have a little rest and then you move to the F, or you can have like muted strings, couple of hits of muted strings when you are sliding to the F chord, or just a once, so very, very little nuances here, but I'm giving you a couple of variations that you can use. So one more time, sliding into the C chord, staying on this chord, then you hit it twice, quickly sliding up to the F and then back down to the C. That's pretty much it for the riff. One more time, it's gonna go like this. Also, one more thing to mention regarding the main riff of the song. In the second verse, I believe it's in the second verse, or later on in the song, Tony's doubling up that riff by playing an octave. So it's you can do it on one guitar as well. So it's basically, you know, including the octave, which is. Right, but you can do it, like I said, include it in the, you know, playing it on one guitar, although it's not that pronounced, because, you know, the main guitar, the power chord kind of drowns the octave, so you don't hear it. But, you know, on the studio version, it's obviously played on a separate guitar, so that's why you can hear it a little bit better. But it's basically, you know, following the same thing. I'm playing it here. So it's 10th fret on the D string, and then you go to, you have 10, 9, 8, these notes on the G string. Right, and you just follow the riff, you know, the same way, the same rhythmical way, and also the same notes. All right, so that's just one side note regarding the main riff of the song. All right, next part, which is sort of an interlude, goes like this. So here again we have the C power chord, hit it, let it ring out for 2 beats, then we go down to the A flat, I'm sorry, it's B flat, so the sixth position right here, then we slide up to the E flat, so it's 11th position, then we go to the G chord, the 15th position right here, so from the G chord, we slide down back to the C again. And then we basically repeat the whole thing. And when you get back to the end of the riff, you hit twice the C chord. And then we start it all over again. So that's pretty much it for the interlude. Now we go back to playing the main riff of the song, and now it comes down to the structure of the song. So we play the first riff, then we have this interlude and stuff like that. So just listen carefully to the song. I'm sure you're going to be able to put all of the sections together. Now, when we get to the next part, which is like a bridge, so before the solo, it goes like this. Let me play it through, then we're going to break it down. Okay, I'm gonna stop right here. So let's go back to the beginning of this part. So we start off with just playing 4 times the C power chord again. Each time we let it ring out for 2 beats, so it's 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, and then we go into the next part, into the next chord, which is going to be a D chord. We have here just some passing notes, open strings, just before, right before we hit the D chord. So these are just the passing notes, right? Then we hit the D chord and let it ring out for the whole bar. And then we have, so again we have a sort of like a pickup chord, which is, you're just hitting the D chord. You can do it with an upstroke. And then you go to the next bar when you play 4 of the chords, so you hit it 4 times. Right? And you have this kind of like a staccato way of playing it, meaning that you hit the chord and then you have a little rest, okay? And then the 5th time you hit the chord and you slide up, so it's basically going from the D to the E. But because we're in this position, and by the way, I watched Tony play this part, and he's using, kind of like an open D chord right here, so he's not playing it here. You can do it here, but if you want to be authentic or play like Tony, he's using this part here, and I'll explain later on another thing that he does here. So let's just go back to the to this position right here. So like I said, we played 4 times staccato way, and then you slide up 2 frets basically to the E chord, and this is the double stop, and then you hit the low E string open, okay? So it's, and you let ring out the low E string. Then again we have, so passing notes, the open strings here. Now here, the other variation that Tony does during the live performances, he's playing these. So it's basically fretting the 2nd string and the 3rd strings on the 2nd fret, and then you just hammer onto the 3rd fret of the B string, of the 2nd string. And you can see live that he does that, okay? So it's not on the studio version. The studio version, he just plays like that, but when he is playing live, he's using that trick, okay? So you have a couple of variations here also how you can play this part. The rest is the same, so you slide up and you hit the low E string twice and you let it ring out. Then we go into this. Basically it's the same lick that he's repeating it all over all the time. So it goes 4-5 on the high E string, and then you do hammer-on pull-off, and then you go to the 5th fret on the B string. Alright, so it's a repetitive lick, like I said. And he plays it for a few times. I think it's a couple of bars or something like that. Maybe more, I'm not sure. No, it's definitely not a couple of bars. It's the riff is a couple of bars, but you repeat it a few times. So again, listen carefully to the song. You'll be able to distinguish how many times you have to play it. I'm sorry, how many times you have to play it. And there is also a drum break, so that also gives you kind of clue when you have to stop the riff, to stop the lick. Actually, in the end, he plays. So he slides up to the 7th fret on the high E string. All right. Also, another trick, what you can do to get the sound, you can hear a very kind of distinctive sound that Tony is achieving, is so you don't play with the pick kind of like parallel to the string, but you put it in at an angled position, and you get this kind of softer sound instead of. So this is like a little bit, you know, cleaner, but this, you know, you get this kind of particular sound. So you can achieve it by turning the pick at an angle, 45 degrees or something like that. So you slide up to the 7th fret, and after that actually we go into the solo. So now we're gonna break down the solo. It's played in phrases. So we're gonna start off with the first phrase, which goes like this. I'm gonna be playing them really slowly so you can hear and see what's going on. I'm gonna also explain it to you, but just keep in mind that, you know, the original tempo is really fast, so you have to develop the speed playing these licks. So the first phrase is gonna go like this. Alright, so here we start off with the 2 bends on the 15th fret on the B string. Then we have, you bend it up, bring it down, pull off to the 12th, and then you go to the G string. 2 times pull off 14 to 12. Then you go to the 14th fret on the D string, and it's a 5 notes. Okay, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then you go to the next bar. We have, so it's 12 on the G string, then you bend up 14, then you go to the B12, high E12, back to the B string 15, and then 2 bends on the same string on the same fret, like that. So if I put together this first phrase all together, slowly it's gonna go like this. Alright, next phrase goes like this. Okay, again it starts off with the 2 bends on the 15th fret on the B string. Then we have, so going down the pentatonic, it's all based on the E minor pentatonic. So starting with the high E12 fret, then we go to the B string, pull off 15 to 12, pull off on the G string 14 to 12, then we go to the D string 14, then back to the G 14 fret 2 times, then we have, so it's 12 on G, then you go to the D string 14 3 times, then again 12 on the D, and then on the A 14 fret 3 times. And then, so these were all 16th notes, and then we slow down a little bit in 8th. So 12, 10 on A string, and then last note is going to be on the 12th of the low E string. Like that. So all together, this phrase is going to go like this. One more time, a little bit slower. Okay, next phrase goes like this. Again, starts off with the 2 bends on the 15th fret on the B string. Then we have, so bending up again the string on the 15th. Then you pick high E12. Then we have, so it's pull off 15 to 12 on the B string, go into the G14. Then you follow the sequence. So pull off on the G string 14 to 12, go into the D14, and then you're back up onto the G string 12. Then you have kind of like a gradual bend on the 14th fret, high E12, and you finish off with the bend on the 15th fret of the B string. One more time, the whole thing slowly. Alright, and the last phrase of the solo is gonna go like this. Okay, again starts off with the 2 bends on the 15th fret of the B string. Then we have again kind of sequence that we did the second time, so it's high E12, pull off 15 to 12 on the B string. Then we have pull off on the G string 14 to 12, go into the D string 14 fret, play it 3 times, and then we have 12 on the D, go into the A string 14 fret 2 times, and then we slow down here, we go 12, 14, 12, 10, 12 on the low E, 10 on the A string, I'm sorry. So it's like that. Alright, one more time, the whole phrase is gonna go like this slowly. And then we go into the next section right away, which goes like this. So here we play this riff for 3 times. Starts off with the E power chord, 12th position. Then we go down to the C, chromatically going down to the B, to B flat, and you let ring out this chord here. So for beat and a half, I'm sorry, for the bar and a half, and then you basically repeat. So you play it for 3 times. Alright, let me just go back to playing the solo, all of the licks back to back together. I'm gonna be playing them slowly, obviously, so you can hear and see what's going on. It's gonna go like this. One more thing I have to mention regarding the solo. So it is known that Tony a lot of times would record 2 separate tracks for the solo, and they're going to be like 85-90% close to each other. Sometimes, you know, it could be more. They vary to each other. So the bulk of the solo is the same, you know, he's playing the same phrases, but the endings might be different. So for this version, because, you know, we're going to be sort of like playing on one guitar, I'm just going to show you one solo, and just keep in mind that in studio version, you know, there are 2 different tracks for the solo. Alright, so and just to give you a quick tip here for the solo, when you're bending the strings, be careful because we're tuned down, you know, 1.5 steps, so it's easier to bend, and so you don't overbend it. It's very easily overbent, so you need to apply less pressure when you're bending the strings. Alright, so just keep that in mind. And basically after that part, we have the break part, like I said. You know, we play this riff for 3 times, and then we're back to playing the main riff. Alright, and then it again comes down to the structure of the song. Then we play again the middle part, which is this riff, but we play it only for 2 times, and then we're back to the main riff of the song, and that's how the song fades out. So basically that's it for the entire song. Alright guys, so that was it for this lesson. I hope you liked it. If you did like it, please hit the like button. Also comment, share, subscribe if you're new to my channel. Don't forget to visit GuitarForce.com for more guitar lessons. In the meantime, I'll see you again. Take it easy, and as always, let the force be with you.